Hey, DJ. That's my DJ. Lil Wayze back in the day.
We are on.
Are we back on? Welcome to another episode of
Two Bros.
Six Brews. Today, we want to go ahead and raise a glass to our fallen brother today. He is not with us. Number one in your hearts and number one in my heart. We're sad to tell you that the H is not here tonight. Why? Well, hold on. Let me go ahead and finish this toast. KD, the last time I heard from H, this was his email, and I think we want to be transparent here at Two Bros. Six Brews. The last time he said something to us today was, "Hey, you guys, probably gonna have to do this one without me. I'm still at work. I just got done with one job, and I gotta go to another one. I don't know when I'll be done." So he wasn't done in time.
So here we are.
Here we are. This is going to cost us a lot of money. We're going to have to change our whole marketing.
Everything. We already tried.
We got to redo the painting, but it's a start for sure. But no, he's doing okay. He just works too much apparently. So beer's on him. But welcome to another week. How's your week been? Because the show must go on.
I don't know, man. This is weird. Like I'm struggling.
It feels super weird.
I'm struggling. This is like we're not like we're on a blind date, you and me, Serge, because this is not what I expected today. Someone set us up.
No doubt, bro. Like I do feel like H big ass chest needs to be between
right
us.
there.
You know, with a chain blinging, with his glasses on. Saying things that's gonna cancel us. So we do miss the big guy.
Yeah, man, we don't have a scapegoat no more.
So we
gotta watch what we say.
We gotta be careful what we say today. But no, man, he will be back next week.
To let you guys know, he is the OG, the veteran of the podcast. He's been doing, I don't know how many more podcasts than we've been doing.
A lot more.
And this is actually might be the first one he misses. So thanks, H. Like shout out to H, yo. Oh wait, nope.
He's allowed to do that. You know, he took some PTO time today.
Yeah, he did.
So,
he did.
I think you guys got it from here. It's like, okay, we do.
No, that's good. That's good. He's finally busy at work, so that's always a blessing. That sucks, but it's a blessing.
At the same time, you know,
how's your week?
Paying your bills is a blessing. Speaking of weeks, I paid all my bills this week too.
Oh shit! Hold on, that's big. Nope. Still, hold on. There you go.
I don't have to hide from my creditors anymore, like I used to back when I was in my 20s. That's hilarious. I gotta elaborate on that later. But no, man, my week has been pretty good. I always talk a little bit about work, obviously, because I do feel like it's one of my passions and I love to talk about it. I kind of always say the same thing, you know, we're kind of charging forward. We're a growing company, though. Like, ITG is a growing company. So you got to understand, like, every day that I show up for work, you know, it's a new thing that I've learned. It's a new relationships, new personalities that I have to deal with. I'm just learning. I'm liking where I'm at in the business because I think we're not, you know, we've been in business for now almost 8 years. And it's like, you know, yeah, we went through some stuff and in the beginning, like growing company in the first couple of years is tough. But now it's getting to a point where, you know, I think like, it's kind of fun to being involved in operations because you're just learning the knowledge that comes with it is worth it. So I'm waking up every day, you know, and even though it's tough at times because it's mentally tough, I find myself very giddy, you know, wanting to go ahead and going into work and figure out things from the good things that are happening to like the things that, you know, are not great, you know. So I'm with it. I love it. I love the chase. I love the the environment, the excitement, and then we'll continue on growing this, the company. And and we also have other things that we're working on as well, especially KD and I. We're not just working on this as well. We got other things that we're working on in the background, which we'll talk a little bit about later on. But yeah, man, that's been, other than the tornadoes this week and then the storms and the weather being up and down, it has been a pretty good week.
There's nothing like a good storm that keeps the Midwesterners on their toes.
On their toes, absolutely. So it's been a good week. I'm excited about baseball. I think I talk a little bit about baseball every day or every week because my son is in baseball, and I try to post little things, little videos and pictures of his advancement and what he's doing and training. And we're working with Buster. I believe he coaches the Washington high school here. Baseball team, and he's doing a really good, man. He's excellent. He's really good with Dom. Dom loves him. He's focused. He's a lot better. He listens to him a lot better than he listens to his dad. Let's just say that. But if you're a dad out there, I think you would agree with me that your son at some point he needs a coach.
Hey man, some parents get them to the pros. So,
absolutely. And I still push him, and so I'm very excited about him going tomorrow again. We're gonna go ahead and wake up early, go to training, and him getting in that mentality. We've gone shopping. He wants his bat. Now he's choosing the bat that he wants. So he's like, and it's tough because anytime that he wants something, I want to get it for him. But then it's not. I need him to keep working for it, right? And so he right now he's got his eyes set on this bat, and I told him that I needed good grades, and then also like I needed to see him just kind of keep grinding type deal, like having that love for the game, and he's doing it. So I think he's going to get it. I hope he's not watching this, but I'm definitely gonna. It's easy to get things for your kids when they're thriving. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So, you can't help but just feed it. It's that's a why. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. And with that, since we're talking about baseball, hey, how about the World Baseball Classic?
This week? Man, I didn't realize how much I was gonna enjoy something like this. I feel like
big.
It's always been there, and I didn't realize it's always been there. And for some reason, I'm finding out about this year, and it's so cool.
It's so awesome, man. I watched the.
It's like such a sports bonus right now.
Super when we needed it too. Like, and it's so fun. That's what's great about it. Like, it's fun because like, they're letting these teams kind of be their personalities from their countries, their cultures.
It feels like it has that Olympic like vibe to it, and with that pride, it's like the Americans are so proud to be there. Probably not getting paid nothing. They want to be there.
Same with the Venezuelans, the Dominicans. I mean, the Italians. I mean, it's been such a great,
and there's superstars from all those countries.
That's what's awesome about it, right? They all kind of know each other. Some of them are like teammates. It reminds me of like this show. I don't know if people watch this show, but there's a show called Ted Lasso out there.
Oh, that's a great show.
And it's such a great show.
That has to be the #1 feel-good series out there. If you want to feel good about yourself or watching something that gives you just love, that's a good show.
That's a good show. Well, in that show, there's this character by the name of Danny, and his best friend is the goalie, and he is like a striker, and they get called up to their teams. And as soon as they get called up for their teams, they're like, Danny was like, "You're my enemy now." Like, there was no conversation of being friends.
No.
It was like nah, like I don't like you. I throughout until they played, and then after they played, he went back to being his buddy, being a friend to the guy. So like this week, there was a game where their teammates tried to one of them tried to go ahead and shake the hand of the other one. The other one was like, "Nah, I'm good. We're competing right now." But I mean, they were cool. I think social media tried to do.
Are you kidding me, bro? Did you see the Venezuela, the Dominican game? They were like all hugging, like they were loving together.
Each other. Like
they're taking each other's hats off.
Oh my god, so funny! But I feel like that was the Venezuelans and Dominicans have a very similar personalities. You know, they want to have a good time. They want to have fun. They're
still dogging you at the same time.
Family's gonna dog you. They're gonna go ahead and make fun of you. They're especially if they if they have the opportunity to little
it's so awesome
you.
To see though at that stage. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Like it bleeds all the way up to the top levels. It's just the same thing. If you were broke in your barrio, you're just still like messing around with your buddy.
And a lot of those guys, they grew up in that environment, and they know each other. So, there's a little bit of, there's no culture clash. I think, especially with the Dominican and the Venezuelan game, I think it was fun to watch it, and it was not just fun; it was competitive too. Like they were in a very good game. So that was great. And then on the other side, you had U.S. wait for Italy and Mexico to compete.
Yeah, Mexico doing well, scoring very well. U.S. beat them. So,
but they needed Italy to beat Mexico in order for them to move.
Because they were going off of what, like points?
I think they're going off of like a score or scoring. Yeah, so it's kind of like soccer, like European soccer.
Oh, I see.
So they needed Italy to really come through for them, and the coach didn't know that needed to happen, which. It was all over social media, but they ended up going through. Italy basically beat Mexico for as much as they needed to, and
for a chance for the U.S.
They got in. So I'm excited to see the next couple games, and it should be fun. Yeah, but anyway, that's been my week. I kind of really went on a tangent there. But
speaking of sports, also, did you see? That conversation that Trump was having with the reporters, and he was telling them pretty much it's like Iran is welcome to come play in the World Cup.
Oh yeah,
but he doesn't think it'll be a safe thing to do or something like that.
Can you imagine being in that team and being like, yo, so we're going to U.S. right now, and we're gonna play in the.
It's an interesting conversation, right? Though, because a lot of these athletes, they what's the word, defect, or they
once
jump
they
ship.
Get here,
yeah. So it's like it's an interesting conversation. It's like you would think Donald Trump would want them to tell them. We don't want to go back. We want to stay here. How much of a propaganda type, endorsement about how their country is compared to us here? You know what I'm saying? Of course, he's gonna say they're welcome to come. I think there's an aspect of that's a possibility he's hoping to happen.
I mean,
if I was an Iranian, I would never come play here. Are you kidding me?
If I was an Iranian, I would say. I would probably be like, I'll go play even though I don't know how to play soccer, then I'll stay.
You have the balls as an Iranian to make that gamble, to be received as someone escaping instead of coming to play a game and they you're in danger because how people look at you.
To be honest, I probably wait it out.
I think I waited out.
I waited out. I'd be like, let's see, let's wait for Cuba's turn, and then we'll kind of
we'll see what happens there.
We'll sneak
We'll go from the backside.
Yeah,
when it comes back around, I'll jump back on.
As soon as they're on with the Cuban, we're in there. So, but yeah, it is so funny because I see a lot of social media videos of Cuba waiting for their turn. So I think we talked a little bit about it last week. But anyway, but yeah, it would be tough. It would be tough to come to a country, especially that you're in war with, to play a game. And so
yeah, I haven't heard anything new about the war. I think the new prime leader, whatever, he got injured, or I think, or possible. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I think there's been 6 people who died in Iraq in a plane refuel.
I mean, at this point, who wants to be? I think they're making people now be in that role, right? Like nobody is saying, "All right, I'm next." It's my time to shine. It's like, no, bro, like
nobody wants it.
Nobody wants Why that. Would you? So no, I agree. But anyway, how was your week, bro? Because I think I it was all about me from it.
I have gone like 6 months, probably over half a year or so since the place I work at gives out overtime, and the last couple of weeks I've been working Fridays. I normally don't work Fridays, but I work Fridays, and it's an adjustment I have to make. We're pretty busy, so like even my body and my schedule, it all gets kind of like, like I gotta get back into working that much. So you start getting into like this like rhythm, right? Eventually, that's what you hope for, get a rhythm so you can then build on the rhythm. So like,
and for those of people that don't know out there, this guy right here does push-ups every hour that he's at work.
No, there's days I don't do them. I have to admit, I don't do them every day. It's like a week like this, I might have done them 2 weeks out of the week. I'm exhausted.
He's very
I'm old, He's a very
humble
old
person too.
We unks. We got to be smart too.
But I think that's an aspect that people need to know, that you do consciously, try to keep your body fit through your work day. And I think the aspect that the people, I wonder what people are even thinking every single time that you're like, oh, ding, and then you go drop down and start doing push-ups every hour. That's gotta feel, that's gotta look from an outside perspective. You gotta be like, what is that? Do everybody know this guy?
No, he's either a genius or he's crazy. So let's just like
What is he training for?
Let's keep an eye on this guy for sure. I've had people like call him prison push-ups.
He knows that he's free, right? Like, does anybody know? Oh my God.
Can't nobody look at me in the eye at work for sure. But so you get in this rhythm with like things just to give yourself a chance, like I am someone who likes to run optimally, and like Sergio's saying, that's why I do the push-ups. It's like I want to sleep best, eat best, I want to feel best. I'm getting old, you can feel it. But I want to be optimal. I also want to be the best at all times. I think there's an aspect about we've talked about this. I didn't realize it, but the more you put two and two together, you realize I'm a competitor. I don't mean to beat you. I just want to be the best. So you get into this mode of repetitiveness, and like you kind of go into a trance with like where your mind goes, since you just out like in an auto drive. And with all these things like happening in this world, man, I've had a week of just thoughtfulness, and I get to listen to books and podcasts at work, and I've been listening to like Stephen King's. I just got done with The Outsider, phenomenal book, and it's just like you start, since you're on autopilot in a sense with like all the just get through the week, get through the week, and like. The question of like consciousness like started creeping up a lot in my thoughts and my little like journeys in my head that I go through, because I can read books all day at work, and when Stephen King keeps it very like like believe or don't believe, but this is the story, what I'm saying? So like. There's aspects about like, and there's another podcast that I heard that this is what sparked the consciousness things, I heard, is the voice in your head someone that you're listening to, or are you the one talking? And for some reason that I was like, what the fuck? That's a good question. Like, and then the idea of like consciousness, like if it is someone talking to you, what is that? Is that your consciousness? Is it you talking? Is it you listening?
Is it your God?
Or you don't know what it is. Like to me is like how do you look at consciousness? Is that like how do you look at that?
Man, I feel like you're exposing me right now, because I'm probably more of a meathead, right? I try consciousness for me. is like being completely and utterly like transparent with yourself, you know? And that's what consciousness is like keeping you like, it's almost like your accountability buddy, right? Like, like that's what,
And you think you have control over that accountability buddy, or is it something that you think is just happening and it's something you're following?
That's a great question. I think it kind of falls into like it just has an engine of its own, and it's like now I don't know if that comes with experience in life and knowing what's right or wrong, morals and principles, but like where I'm sitting, it does feel very automatic. So like the you saying like who's that, like is it you, is it something else, that like I can kind of see where you got there, because like my consciousness is pretty automatic on how how it processes like things that I'm going through, right? Whether I think it's bad or wrong. So yeah, I think right now, I think it does feel a little bit automatic. There's that I'm not the one driving that, because then I do different things from it, right? But then I feel bad about it, or sometimes I want to do something, and it's my consciousness that is like telling me, hey, remember like everything that has a consequence that you do. Everything has a consequence, and then you start kind of you start making deals with it. With yourself, like you're making yourself like, well, I want to do that, and then you start lying to yourself. Obviously, I think maybe this is why what is it? Drug addicts have a hard time, like with like, and I say that from an aspect of like people that I shouldn't say drug addicts, people that have obsessive disorders, like about things that make them feel good, or like are going to like go into rounds where they're like tricking their consciousness of making sure that so they can get that high or that fulfillment. But anyway. But yeah, to answer
that's a whole different conversation.
Correct. But yes, I think it's a little bit more automatic to answer your question right now.
So you think you're the one talking?
I think it's it doesn't feel like I'm the one talking at all. It doesn't feel like I'm the one like. It just feels like it's like embedded software now, and it's telling me what's right or wrong.
Dude, it leads into this memory I have, because I've always I'm agnostic, my faith or my spirituality, however you want to call it. Like I don't necessarily, I'm not a Christian at all. Sergio, I believe you are.
Yeah, I'm a Christian. I believe in God. So I believe in God, and I'm not too caught up in religion, but yes, my foundation is based on believing in God.
For sure. And that's how I got raised, and I grew up together alongside Sergio with the same beliefs too. And it takes me back to praying, and I think there's an aspect where like I felt like my consciousness didn't let me, like it made me, I feel like I had an evil consciousness. I feel like I was an evil person, because when I used to pray, there's an aspect of reverence you want to have for the moment that you're talking to God, right? You want to be as respectful as possible. Don't fuck up. And then you're in your head, you're realizing your consciousness, you're saying don't fuck up. So then you're like, I'm being so disrespectful, and I couldn't stop I couldn't turn around the ugly and the negativity to be able to come to God at a peaceful mindset, or like a holy mindset, because I'm so afraid to say fuck, shit, and the dirtiest, and think the dirtiest things, that's all my conscience was thinking. So like when I used to go to pray to God, I thought he wasn't listening, he wasn't talking to me, because it's like I was not a good person. Like my consciousness was an evil person. I couldn't turn off that aspect of me that like I'm trying so hard not to talk or think this way, but like I can't stop saying fuck before I talk to God.
That's hilarious, bro. That is hilarious.
So like I couldn't control it. I feel like that was my consciousness.
That's a good
what about Tourette's
example?
Can you imagine having Tourette's?
Oh, absolutely. But I will tell you this. It's like it maybe this is where this is why I say I'm more spiritual than religious based Christian, because I am a firm believer that the most important thing in Christianity is your relationship with your God, with God, right? With your God, my God. Obviously, it's the one that the red, white, and blue Jesus.
You know what I mean?
Blue. But I think from an aspect of like you have to accept that. When I started to accept that I was imperfect, I started, and that was years later,
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
I started to really understand what a relationship is between my heart and my God, right? And until then, how I presented myself was as raw as I could possibly be, as transparent as I could possibly be. So, like, this is gonna sound weird to people out there, and even to like really strong Christians. But if I have the need to cuss in prayer when I'm in prayer, or when I'm in conversation with God, I let it roll, man. So like, there's an aspect of like my relationship with God that I'm telling you that I've kept private, that I'm very transparent with who I am, and I present myself as a broken or imperfect, being in front of that person. So because of that, I give myself a little bit of grace, so I'm not too caught up in like the semantics or the grammar of how I gotta speak to my God. So I there are times where, if I want to cuss, or if I feel the need to cuss or say something like that I feel that is deep in my heart, I say it, man. Like, there are times where, like, my relationship, my prayer, my meditation, whatever you want to call it, with my God, it's not just sunshines and rainbows. Sometimes a lot of it is thank you, and I want to be appreciative. I want to tell him and make sure that he knows that I love him. But there are times where I'm a human. I'm questioning everything. I'm questioning, from the meaning of life to him himself. I'm questioning things that I don't understand, and I'm being emotional about. I just come very, very raw, man. I think that there's an aspect of that we weren't taught growing up, in religion, that that's what's important. Like, being you and accepting who you are, so you can have a little bit of grace of yourself, and just you can really not feel like you need to hide from him. So that's what works for me.
No, absolutely. And that's obviously when I wanted so strongly to be part of that belief system too, which I am out of it now.
Yeah.
And now that I'm out of it, I can easily relate to a lot of these things, and a lot of and it taps into the consciousness conversation we're having. Is like when you're meditating, and a lot of the stuff that you're saying that you believe in like in prayer, to me, that's just another form of meditation. Like, you might not be talking to a God, you might be talking to the consciousness that we're talking about. You might have a connection with a self that is also connected to something that what you call God too. So there's aspects we might not believe the same things, but I think we all get to it pretty in a very similar way. Because meditation, I think prayer is how is prayer not it's not meditating,
I mean, yeah, it's literally, that is what it is. You're having a conversation with, in meditation, you're having your
put intentions into something while you're trying to find peace in your mind.
Exactly, you're talking to your inner self, or God, or
whatever you believe in, but there's similarities,
There are similarities, and you know what, bro? It's very hard to believe when there's a lot of bad things out there in the world. I get it, man. I get it. Seeing a sick child, it's like the the number one Trump thing that is like, well, if there was why would God want this or to happen to that? But I will tell you this, like, where there is that, there's also beauty, and I think that there's an aspect that humanity is in a, what is it called? A beautiful disaster. Right, like an imperfection that is like beautiful, right?
No, man, we are in our movie era.
So no,
the world is in their movie era.
I mean, we're in the action side of things now, right? In the 90s, we're in the comedy part of everything. In the 80s, seemed like we were in the romance sitcom.
We're in the Steven Spielberg era.
We are. It feels like a Tom Cruise, type of movie. But no, man, I do. There's a lot of successful people that swear by meditation. They wake up. There's one of the things that they put out there is intention or prayer. You talk about it, and I cannot say. I can tell you, man, it works. It works when it's heavy. When the world is heavy, when you have everything going against you, when you feel like your chest is caving in, and you feel like you can't hold on. I'm telling you, meditation, prayer, it really works.
When I realized that meditation was just this, it was very much the same, at least to me, as prayer, is when I realized that I was struggling just as hard to meditate with the same issue.
Focus.
I had PTSD.
Stop cussing. Oh man, I do gotta tell you a little story, man. I have felt helpless in a lot of places in my life. I have felt hopeless, and it is hard to deny my actions when I have felt like that. My calling to my God, to what I believe in, my calling up to my relationship with my God, and really putting him on blast, putting him on one, like having a true conversation on my feelings on why he's like this hasn't happened, or why he's impeding this, or why he's not helping me, and I will tell you this, on the biggest moments of my life, my God has showed out and showed up. So it's kind of crazy because I don't deserve it. I'm completely imperfect, and I fail. Every day I could be better human being. I could be a better friend, a better father, a better husband. But for whatever reason, there are things that that happen to me that are blessings, and it's when I'm in direct, connection with God, and it's hard to say that, and it's hard to make somebody understand it if you haven't gone through it. But I believe that you know what I'm trying to say, because I think that there's an aspect of meditation. I think there's an aspect of putting out this, just a good energy as a human being that, the world or God kind of repays you, and it's okay to ask for it. And it's okay to, like, at times, it's demand okay. it or take it.
No, the way I faced situations like that where I can meet you at is put good and the right intentions into things, and ask for whatever help is available for the outcome to always be good. If there's extra layers of our world in our life that have an influence on us, why not ask with the best intentions?
Let me ask you a question, and I hate to be morbid because we had a conversation of morbidity on the last episode. But when your time is done here, what do you want people to say about you? When your time is done in this world, I mean, are you?
I know the reality with that. I know the reality how in a couple of generations, I will be forgotten probably.
And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like, the people that you leave behind that love you.
I just want to be part of the good guys at the end. So when I die, I want to be a substantial point forward for becoming better humans. So like that's where I'm at. If I can, I think our greatest responsibility on earth is to develop our children to be better people. That's our number one job. Outside of that, to me, and that's how legacy. That's what legacy is for me.
Beautiful.
Is to be able to not only do that for your children. Legacy would be great if you do that for all children or all people.
Right.
To push them a little bit forward to being understanding and seeing and maybe wanting to be better.
That's a very selfless answer. That doesn't surprise me at all coming from you, that answer, to be honest. My answer to that, over the years has been a very simple answer, and I'm in the middle of morphing my answer to that question. A lot of people have asked me that question, and I've always asked myself that question. Hey, Serge, when everything's said and done, man, like, because everything that you do now, like, it affects that, right? When everything is said and done, what do you want people to say about you? And my answer has been like, well, I want people to say that was a good man, that he was, he was just a good human being. But I think that's like a little bit of if you know me, I think that's a little bit of a cap out. I think that answer is very political correctly answered.
You're a complex man.
I am. I'm a little selfish, and I think that there's an aspects that that I want to do before my time is done here. That really, really is going to really answer that question. Now, do I want to answer it to you right now? Not in this episode, because it's morphing as we speak. I think right now I'm getting to a point where it's not just as simple as I want to be a good person, because we always say this: you are a good person until you're a villain in somebody else's story. And everybody out there, no matter how good you feel that you are, no matter how much of a Christian you think you are, or how much of a good person that throws good energy and good karma into the world, you are a villain in somebody else's story that also believes they're doing good, right? And I'm not here to say that you are a villain or not, but I think it's a little bit of a more of a complex answer of saying, no, I just want to be remembered as a good person. Well, I think that's kind of a cop out for me as an answer. I am morphing that answer right now. And in one of these days, I think we'll dive into that a little bit more, because I feel like there is a little bit of selfish goals that I want to achieve before completely answering that. I can give you the very segmented answer of like, I want my kids to know that I'm a good father. That was a good father to them, right? Because I do. I want to be a good father to them, and I want them to know that their dad was the best, right? But I if you know me, I think there's an aspect of me that drives me as I grow, and I think ultimately I want to be able to get to a point where I'm affecting more people in a good way. I'm affecting more people in a good way in a bigger platform. So that's what I'll say.
All right.
But yeah, sorry about that. I mean, we can go ahead and obviously go into this conversation a little bit deeper, and you can dive into.
No, man, it just circles back around. All of this to me, like a lot of the consciousness that what you're talking about, you can be someone else's villain, in their story, right? So like that's another aspect that started making me think about consciousness at work. As I'm, just autopiloting through, work and stuff, I'm realizing there's so many people here at the place I work. What is going on through their heads, and what is like what are they thinking someone's talking to me, or are they listening to the voice, or are they the ones talking? So it makes you think, and who are those people? So like, how do they look at you? So then, we're living in the world, like we say, we're in our movie era. Things are out of control. Things that we wouldn't believe were happening, that are happening right now. We wouldn't believe them back in the day. Like our president saying there's aliens are real. Like us in a scene that like it looks like we're gonna go to World War III. Like there's a lot of aspects here that like are ridiculous. So like, is that my reality? Is that your reality? How do other people see what's happening now? Are just ignoring? Like how? Like I feel like consciousness is like this weird thing where like, are they interacting with your consciousness? Is your consciousness not looking at what's happening around the world? And like,
there's probably a little bit of that with me, at least. Like my consciousness, I try. Maybe it's me deliberately like blocking my consciousness into going into what's happening in the world, because I think that there's a lot of things that are bad that are happening in the world that you can get caught up in, but there's also good that's happening in the world, and then there's also your reality that's happening in the world.
Reality to it,
right? So I think,
but isn't like, does it become a thing where like the majority of the reality that we all like share, does it become like a shared reality, right? So like, are we creating all these problems with our consciousness? Like there's a lot of things here like, yeah, I had too much time to think. Sorry, guys.
No, I get it. I look at it from an example, like stands like how other people look at you and how you look at yourself. There's two different realities of that, right? And you can be looking at yourself like a certain person, but somebody else looks at you and it's like they have the complete different outlook on who you are as a person and what you're all about. So I get it, man. I understand it now. When going back to meditation and prayer, I think it has been proven to help people just kind of go through and maybe help them. I don't know if you block
deal with those aspects.
Deal with some of those aspects that you're bringing up.
Yeah, because it can catch you real quick. Like I think thinking that way is not for everyone. Like
especially if you're in business too. You know what I mean? Like you have all these huge goals, right? Or not just in business, but you're just you have your own goals, right? And your own goals are big, and you there's got to be a way to block out the mechanism, right? And I think a lot of people are turning into, what we now call it meditation, but it has been prayer in the past, driven by religion. So I do it. I do it in a form. I do it every morning. I have a very good 30 minutes home. I have my very, very raw conversations with my God, and I think, I ask, I question, I do everything that I got to do, and I also give myself the ability to forgive myself, even though I'm sounding like a very selfish human. But at the end of the day, like we're humans. That's part of us as well. So as much as good as you think you are out there. And there's a lot of people think that they're perfect.
You can't escape the fuck. Dude,
that's hilarious. That is the best story I've ever heard. And then you're like, meditation. We gotta go to yoga. I gotta figure out where you're at with that.
Yogas get spicy.
That's hilarious, bro. But anyway, this week we had a couple of tornadoes in the area.
Oh yeah, man! Like we were talking about, like it's nothing like a good a storm to keep these Midwesterners on their toes, and like we were all. I mean, half of us said fuck it. Half of us stayed up a little late for a storm that we're supposed to receive in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I saw it, and I immediately told Kayla this one might have tigers in it. And she was like, I think so too. So it did. It immediately touched down. I didn't hear any sirens.
No, not around us, because I wake up at 3:30 in the morning, and that's kind of around, when it's happening, and it was just regular rain.
Yeah.
So I was like, this shit was weak, and then I got to work, and I realized no, the storm dumped everything like at like Knox,
Union, that area. That was.
They had like the biggest 2 tornadoes ever.
Yeah,
we're like, whoa.
And then we started seeing like the videos, and that ended up being scary. And I do want to say this, and I don't want to, I kind of want to get a little serious right now. I think a child was killed in one of the tornadoes. So I think in Edwardsburg, yeah. So, and believe it or not, it's actually. We're close with with one of the friends' parents of the kid yeah. So I do want to go ahead and just kind of say our condolences to the family.
Slow shout out.
No, no slow shout out. But I do want to go ahead and say my condolences to the child's parents and the family. It was such a sad situation. I don't even. I don't want to go into details because I don't know any of the details to be talking about it. I don't know the family. All I know is that there were posts throughout the social media in our community where this was a highlight of the week, and I want to make sure that we pay our respects. So to those people out there that knows this family. So from 3 Bros 6 Brews here, our condolences. So. Other than that, man, we got summer coming up.
Well, before that, let me pick it back on on tragedy. Did you hear about the shooting in Old Dominion?
No,
dude, there was a shooting at the college or something, right?
No way.
And I don't know much about it. I just know there was a shooting. I think there was a press conference, and whoever's the director of whoever is investigating, or chief, whoever, they asked her a question on a live. And all she responded was like, the students that were in there with him captured him, subdued him, and unalived him.
Wow. Did you say how many people?
That's all I saw in the video.
Wow.
So these people took matters into their own hands in that school, in that classroom, wherever he was.
Well, and then there's a video that reminds me of another video this week that came out of a plane of someone threatening to like blow up the plane, and then some of the passengers had to go ahead and subdue him as well. I think that's happening a lot in planes.
Crazy, but
lately,
at least people are doing something. Like
no, people are not sitting down and waiting for it.
They believe now.
They actually are like, nah, we're gonna go fighting. Like,
so I've seen this already.
Yeah, no doubt. It was like we're not going out. So, but yeah, man. So that's that's sad. That's sad. That's been a situation that we've dealt with in this country for a long time, and it sucks because I think it has so many roots, and we can talk about them.
That might be a discussion for another time.
No doubt,
like flat Earth, probably.
No doubt.
Someone we should discuss, and we probably never will, because
we're scared. We're scared. No, man. I will say this. I was going to talk to you about summer coming up. Since we're talking about weather, I cannot wait for summer, my guy. I feel healthier.
What's the number one thing you're most excited for?
Motorcycle rides and lake.
Okay.
Pontoon rides.
Okay.
I think those are like my 2 favorite things,
Right.
Motorcycle rides and pontoon rides. That's, I'm
a foodie, so number 1 for me is grilling out. Number 2 is bikes.
Yeah, we grill out a lot. We didn't as much last year, but the year before that,
it was like the first year we had fully with the bike. So like,
yeah, we did a lot of riding. But yeah, we gotta get back to our to grilling.
Yeah,
here. So usually we do it on Sundays and sometimes on Saturdays. So if you're out there and you want to do something, you want to eat, just give us a call, hit us up, come through. We always have food
here at 2 Bros and 6 Brews. We treat you right.
Yeah, we feed our community. So, but appreciate you guys this week. We miss H. You are going to go ahead and see him next week. Maybe he works a lot. We miss him. We this was an awkward.
This is just a joke. We love the guy. He was just busy.
It started as an awkward date, but I think we handled it right.
I think
a little bit. KD.
I think we need an adult between us, and unfortunately, that's H. I never thought I'd say that.
You could tell by our show that he's the one that brings the jokes, because we kind of went a little bit more serious to that.
It's like is he taking his medication? I don't know. I'm doing good, guys.
But anyway, thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Love you guys.
Have a great weekend.